Segment number 2, overnight line movers. We'll shift it over to Major League Baseball. SBRodds.com, the single best place to check in and get those odds changes and market movements. The Angels seeing early action here, Teddy, on Friday. If I take a look right here at SBRodds.com, opened up around 150, 155 in that range. Now seeing some lines peak above minus 182. But here's the interesting part, Teddy. We're not in Colorado. The line opened for the total at 10 and now sits at 11. Cahill versus Straley. Not a lot of defense looks like come to play here today.
Yeah, the market certainly don't trust either one of these starting pitchers, but in particular, they don't trust Jan Straley, who is, again, when you're the fifth starter, a tired retread on a last-place team, as MLB starters, you're about as bottom of the barrel as it gets. And Straley, a fly baller who doesn't get strikeouts. It's a Baltimore team. They just struck out 22 times against Boston in their last game on Wednesday. It's an Orioles team. Remember, they started the season 4-1. What are they since that? They're like 9-23 since. And Cahill's got a good track record against Baltimore for what it's worth, although his advanced metric numbers are pretty ugly, and his last 4 starts have been ugly. Hence the over money, hence the Angels money. Worth noting, Ohtani back in the Angels lineup, and he had an impact. A couple of hits in the series finale in Detroit. The markets view him as a major addition for LA offensively.
Teddy, everybody seems to get healthy and happy against those Marlins. We'll see if the Mets can certainly return that favor. Wheeler and their backers sending it north of 180 for the Mets out here with a total of 7. Lopez versus Wheeler, but it's not so much at Wheeler, 97, 98, 99 on the gun. It's getting the Marlins actually hit the baseball and put up some runs to challenge the Mets in the series. We'll see what happens today.
Yeah, the Marlins have lost 10 of their last 12, but the talk out of camp is, well, we're more competitive over the last week. They're losing games by only 1 or 2 runs instead of 8 or 10 runs. But we are talking about a team with the worst record in the majors. As I mentioned, 2-10 their last 12 ball games. They're going against an ace, and they're facing a Mets team. Look, the Mets have been lousy. They had an awful road trip. They scored 3 runs or less in 7 of the last 8 games. Mickey Callaway, we have to do better. What we're doing right now is just not acceptable. We can't all of a sudden score a few runs one game and everything's okay. We've got to continue to do it. There's a sense of urgency, perhaps, for the Mets in this ballgame. And the market certainly like Wheeler's track record against Miami, 5-2, with an ERA of $1.89 in 11 previous starts against them.
Late night action on the West Coast tonight. Rising total in the Bay Area, Teddy. We got Castillo and Rodriguez on the mound. Giants getting about a plus 128 here. Total opened up at 7, now sits at 7.5. And hey, look, we know what Castillo can do. We'll see if Rodriguez can match him pitch for pitch in this one. Always a tough hitter's ballpark, but interesting to see the rise from 7 to 7.5 here on a Friday.
Yeah, I'm very surprised to see any game with Luis Castillo in it getting bet over. His xFIP's above 3, even though the ERA is below 2, so the markets are expecting some regression. But when you talk about advanced metric stats that the betting markets love, he's got the Luis Severino factor. Remember what Severino did last year? Where he just dominated the first half of the season. Castillo, the ground ball rate above 55% and more than 10 strikeouts per 9 inning. You're looking for a duo that the betting markets love. It's guys with a high ground ball rate and guys who strike batters out. Castillo's got both. But the winds are blowing out to left field and the markets are not high on Derek Rodriguez at all. I think that's why we've seen the over money coming in San Francisco in early betting action today.